Kyle Anthony is known for living in what many viewers now consider one of the most unpredictable haunted houses online. One quiet evening, while he was minding his own business, the calm was interrupted yet again by what people often describe as an attention-seeking presence. Instead of reacting, Kyle barely acknowledges it and walks away. Watch closely.
You know what? No.
What unsettled viewers wasn't just what happened, but what Kyle seemed to ignore. Those familiar with his home pointed out the basement, where he keeps a disturbing collection of items. That detail has fueled growing speculation that the house itself might not be haunted at all. Maybe the activity is tied to something he's brought inside. And with every new video Kyle uploads, the mystery only deepens, making it harder to tell what exactly he's living with, or what might be living through his collection. In late 2024, an Indonesian toll booth worker known online as Kinoy715 uploaded a short clip that quickly caught the attention of paranormal viewers. Working the night shift on a remote stretch of highway meant long hours alone, surrounded by darkness and silence. During a brief break, Kinoy noticed something unusual hovering above a field near the roadside. At first, he thought it might be a trick of the light, but as the shape remained suspended in the air, unmoving, curiosity overtook fear, and he began recording while slowly approaching.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dapatkan guys. Agak lain dapatkan guys.
In the footage, a faint figure can be seen hovering just above the grass, its shape unclear but unmistakably present. Kinoy suddenly stops walking, as if realizing he may be witnessing something unnatural. When the video was shared online, viewers immediately began speculating. Some believe the figure resembles entities described in Indonesian folklore, spirits said to appear at night in isolated areas, silently observing those who wander too far from populated places. Kinoy later stated he was certain it wasn't human. The way it hovered, motionless and aware, convinced him that whatever he saw didn't belong to the natural world. On December 8th, a retailer filming inside his storage warehouse in Indonesia captured something he still can't explain. He usually records videos of glass and mirrors to advertise his products. But on this night, while preparing one mirror for a shoot, the footage took an unexpected turn. Listen closely. Distinct banging sounds can be heard, sharp and rhythmic, coming from the glass itself. As the noise continues, something even stranger happens. Parts of the wet mirror begin to wipe themselves clean. Water is dragged downward in clear streaks, as if an invisible hand is using a squeegee across the surface. There's no tool in sight, no reflection of movement, Yet the motion is undeniable. The man later explained that he'd heard these banging sounds many times before, always from a distance, and every time he checked, nothing was there. He also revealed that he'd bought this particular mirror from a charity shop for an unusually low price. The seller, he said, seemed desperate to get rid of it. At the time, he ignored the warning signs. After this incident, he sold the mirror, and according to him, the banging stopped completely. So was it just an odd coincidence tied to an old piece of glass? Or did getting rid of the mirror finally put an end to whatever had been following it? A Thai TikTok user known as Matelu4256 was driving alone late at night along a stretch of road in Thailand infamous for a disturbing reason. Over the years, this exact section has seen an unusually high number of serious accidents, many of them fatal. Locals believe the road is cursed, claiming something appears to drivers moments before they lose control. Because of that reputation, he always drives cautiously through the area. But on this night, he was about to understand why so many crashes happen here. The dashcam shows an empty road until, without warning, a figure appears directly in his path. He reacts instantly, swerving hard to avoid it. Once he regains control, he checks the rearview mirror, expecting to see someone standing behind him. There's nothing there. The road is completely empty. Shaken, he reviews the footage later, and that's when it gets stranger. The figure appears translucent, almost see-through. Many believe it could be the spirit of someone who died on that road, either appearing as a warning or manifesting suddenly to startle drivers and cause another accident. After that night, he says he finally understands why crashes keep happening in that exact spot. This man kept an old rotary phone in his home purely for decoration. It sat on his coffee table, meant to add a vintage touch. But after a few days, he noticed something strange. The phone started ringing. The problem was, it wasn't connected to anything. No phone line, no power source, and every time he answered it, there was only silence on the other end. Not wanting to take any chances, he moved the phone outside to a shed, dismantled it, and left only the bare frame behind, hoping that would finally stop it. It didn't.
This haunted phone rings without power.
What makes this even harder to explain is that you can visibly see the bell mechanism moving as the phone rings. For that to happen, it needs an electrical signal. Something has to trigger it. So what's causing the call? Is this phone ringing for a reason? Or is there a perfectly rational explanation hiding behind something that looks impossible? The celestial fish shared this clip after experiencing something she still can't explain. While alone in her apartment, she thought she saw movement out of the corner of her eye. When she turned toward the bathroom, She caught a glimpse of it moving again. Confused and shaken, she pulled out her phone and started recording, completely unaware of what was about to happen next.
Holy shit, I was just getting ready for work and I freaking saw something in my bathroom that scared the freaking shit out of me. I don't know what it was, but it looked like a ghost. Like, literally, I think I just saw a ghost. I want to get out of here. I want to get out of my house. I'm so scared. It was like right there where those shadows are. Those are shadows from the towel right there. But there was like a shadow right there where those other shadows are. And it looked like a person. It looked like a ghost. Like right there. Oh shit. Holy
As she faces the bathroom, a dark shadow slowly peeks out from behind the door, as if it's looking directly at her. She screams as it emerges, lingers for a brief moment, then slips back out of sight. No one else was home. And behind the door, there was nothing but a few towels. There's no clear explanation for what she captured. And if someone really had been standing there, it would have terrified anyone who saw it.
It looks like a ghost. Like right there. Oh shit. Holy
In the 1950s, a tragic accident occurred at a warship shipping yard when a woman was crushed to death by industrial machinery. More than 70 years later, a man known online as Zap Out to Snap now works inside a warehouse built on that same site. Since starting the job, he says strange things have become routine. Sudden cold spots during his shifts, doors opening and closing on their own, and even a sink in the women's bathroom turning on without explanation. On several occasions, he's managed to capture these moments on camera, adding weight to long-standing rumors that something never left the site.
I'm about to quit. Shit.
What the f? No, I ain't seen this. Oh my God.
What the f? Y'all, this shit is wild. It happened right in here. That is crazy. Y'all see that on camera? Rewind the camera back. That's fucking crazy. I gotta be in here one day when it's dark so I can catch that. Wow. It's fucking insane, y'all.
From doors moving with no one nearby to a shadowy figure briefly appearing on footage, the activity has become harder to dismiss as coincidence. What began as whispered stories tied to an old tragedy now feels uncomfortably present. And with each new clip, the question grows louder. Is this just an aging industrial building? Or is someone from the past still moving through it, decades later? A woman finally managed to capture one of the unsettling things she believes has been happening inside her home. Before this video, she had already shared several disturbing moments, like finding her 6-month-old daughter sitting outside her bedroom door, giggling, despite there being no possible way the baby could have gotten there on her own. She also noticed her daughter waving at empty corners, softly saying, "Hi," and becoming visibly afraid of specific areas of the house for no clear reason. One afternoon, While dyeing her hair and casually recording her routine, she unknowingly captured something else on camera. Watch closely. For many parents watching, this clip struck a nerve. After reading through the comments, the woman revealed she plans to move out within 2 weeks. Living with unexplained activity is unsettling on its own. But with an infant involved, many viewers agreed it wasn't worth the risk. Others felt it could still have a logical explanation and questioned whether leaving so quickly was necessary. So what do you think? An overreaction or the only safe decision left? Having a home camera is like having an extra set of eyes, watching moments you never even knew were happening. And that's exactly what makes this next clip unsettling. Because nothing unusual was supposed to be happening at all. Watch closely. The camera suddenly detects movement. Then, without warning, loud banging and knocking echo through the house. There's no one visible on screen, no clear source, just noise, sharp, aggressive, and completely out of place. The homeowner later said it felt like something was there. Not something she could see, but something she could clearly hear. That's why she shared the footage online, hoping someone else might notice what she missed. So watch it again. Slow it down. Look carefully. Because the real question isn't what made the noise. It's whether the camera captured more than just sound. Joe Herrera and his partner were no strangers to unsettling locations. They'd investigated abandoned buildings, reported hauntings, and places most people wouldn't enter after dark. But on November 10th, they stepped into a building that made them question that experience.
Se puede observar a lo lejos entre las tumbas la oscura y siniestra silueta de algo que nos acechaba esa noche.
The location was a former printing facility, once used by El Informador in Guadalajara. The property had been closed for years, yet still guarded. Security staff told stories of children's voices echoing through empty halls, and a nun-like figure seen wandering the 3rd floor. Joe entered with multiple cameras, hoping to document whatever might still be inside. It didn't take long before he said the building felt wrong, almost disorienting, like being trapped in a maze.
Pero nada más en unas zonas, las demás lámparas están quebradas.
Sí,
no prenden.
Casi de inmediato comenzamos a escuchar sonidos extraños dentro del lugar.
Hoy hay voces. Hoy
Se escuchan voces, se escuchan gritos.
es aquí. Hoy. Hoy. Alguien habla. Habla. Oye, voy a sacar aquí el Spirit Box. Porque está cabrón aquí.
Mira.
A la madre. Se
está moviendo la cama.
madre. Se está moviendo, güey.
As they moved deeper into the structure, they reached the 3rd floor, the same level tied to the nun apparition. The moment they stepped into the corridor, the atmosphere shifted. The air felt heavy, quiet, but tense. And then something moved.
Es el techo. Es arriba, güey. Mira.
Mira, está desquebrajado.
¿Ya viste? Pero eso fue ahorita, güey.
¿Cómo te podemos ayudar?
Mira, se está moviendo
la madre, güey.
el ciclo.
¿Lo viste?
Sí.
Se movió. No, 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 no. ¡Ah, la madre! No seas mamón. No seas mamón.
Ay, Dios.
No seas mamón. Ah. Ah, no, 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 no. Uy, cabrón.
¿Me viste que primero se movió y después como que lo empujaron?
Güey. No mames, ¿lo grabaste, güey? Yo sí lo grabé, güey.
Sí, lo grabé.
Y sí, como que lo aventaron y corrieron, güey, como algo pequeño. Toda su madre.
Se escucharon como pisadas
Sí.
corriendo para allá.
Pero que es que se fueron para allá o para acá, güey.
A small tricycle rolled forward on its own, not pushed, pedaled. The pedals turned briefly, as if someone were riding it before the tricycle toppled over. Seconds later, what sounded like footsteps ran deeper into the building.
Unas huellas pequeñas de bebé, como de niño, en el suelo marcadas. Ahí se puede ver muy claramente y es como si alguien pequeño hubiera corrido hacia eso.
When they approached the area, they noticed something else. Small footprints on the dusty floor, child-sized. They questioned whether a real child could have been there. But at that hour, inside a secured, abandoned building, it made no sense.
¿Qué es esto, güey? Mira, parece brujería.
Mira, acá también hay.
Ah, ya viste, es como, eso de allá arriba es como brujería, güey.
Mira. Con
¿Cómo se llama?
cenizas.
No.
Mira.
Estás aquí cerca de nosotros. ¿Estás cerca de nosotros?
Uy.
They followed the prints into nearby rooms and found scenes that changed the tone of the investigation completely. Symbols, objects arranged deliberately, signs that suggested ritual activity. From that moment on, they moved with far more caution.
Escuché un niño, güey. ¿Estás aquí cerca de nosotros? El Spirit Box apagó, güey.
Se sigue escuchando.
Ay. ¡Ay, la madre! Fue allá adentro.
Vamos.
¡Hala! ¡Hala, madre! ¡Güey! ¿Lo escuchaste?
Sí, por acá es.
¿Estás aquí? ¿Estás aquí?
Mira, las escaleras.
¡Oh, la madre, la madre, la madre, la madre! ¿Qué fue, qué fue, qué fue?
Sí.
Sí está aquí, güey, sí está aquí. ¿Estás aquí? ¡A la madre! ¡Ay, puta madre, güey! ¡Ay, yo! Ve mis vellitos, güey. ¿Ve cómo se me pusieron, güey?
Mira.
¡Ay, esta chingadera, güey!
¿Qué se escuchó?
No sé, güey, escuché una voz, güey. Aquí hay un niño, pero aquí estaba, güey. Aquí la escuché, güey. Mira las huellas, güey. Hay muchas huellas.
Mira, aquí hay unas manitas.
¡A la madre, güey!
Mira yo.
¿Qué pasó?
Unas manitas de bebé.
No,
De
man.
niño chiquito. Mira.
Sí.
Mira los deditos.
Sí está aquí, güey. Estás aquí, ¿verdad? ¿Qué quieres?
As they continued, the building grew quieter, but not empty. They began hearing what sounded like children laughing and whispering in the distance. Joe described sensing the presence of something older nearby, something watching as they moved.
Hay un cuadro.
Mira.
Ahí quedó el intrusos. Y esto fue lo que vimos en la cámara de Dani.
Mira esa pintura.
Qué pedo.
Una mujer.
Ay, cabrón.
¿Ya viste?
Ah, sí está como arañada.
Está dañada.
Y está rota de ahí arriba, mira. Ay. Uy, 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 uy. ¿Escuchaste? ¿Escuchaste?
Sí.
Fue allá.
¿Qué fue eso?
No sé. Como una voz.
Y ahorita que señalamos la pintura.
Sí.
Y mira. Está en un espejo. Sobre un espejo.
Mira, 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 mira. Una huella.
Acá también hay.
Pero estas huellas son frescas, ¿sí? Vean. Y es de mano pequeñita. Miren, vean el tamaño de mi mano y vean el tamaño de la huella. Es una huella como de niño. ¿Ya vieron? Mira, mira mi mano. Miren eso, intrusos. El tamaño de mi mano y el tamaño de esa huella que está ahí es como una huella de niño. ¿Ya viste, Dani?
Sí.
Mira, mira. Es una mano pequeña y está fresca. Eso hay que tener cuidado porque puede haber algo aquí.
Esto como está aquí tiene simbología. ¿Por qué? Esto es un espejo. Los espejos son portales. Y este espejo ahí, mira. ¿Ven mi cámara? Lo que es arriba.
Using a roaming camera to cover more ground, Joe noticed something disturbing. A painting mounted above a mirror, both scratched heavily. The marks looked like something had crawled toward it, leaving trails across the surface below. Many believe mirrors can act as gateways, places where entities cross over. The placement didn't feel accidental. It felt intentional.
Uy. ¿Hay alguien cerca de nosotros? ¿Qué hubo? Queremos ayudarte, queremos darte luz. ¿Quién eres? Uy. ¿Quieres que te ayudemos? ¿Eras una monja?
Sí. Later, while reviewing footage from the upper floors, Joe noticed something they'd missed in real time. Slowing the video down and zooming in revealed a small, dark figure standing near a pillar in the background, motionless, watching.
De las más fuertes de la noche. Dejamos nuestras cámaras grabando en este punto y mientras las estábamos acomodando, se puede ver detrás de mí algo que sale del pilar que está justo atrás. Algo asomarse, parece que se asoma, sube y baja en cuestión de segundos y desaparece. De verdad, lo más aterrador fue que en ese momento no nos dimos cuenta que estaba muy cerca de nosotros. Y
Then another clip showed something even clearer. Right behind them, a shadowy figure with long hair peered around a pillar before retreating out of sight. Because of its movements, Joe believed it could be the spirit of a child. But given the building's history, the rituals, signs, and the escalating activity, many viewers weren't convinced. So was this a playful spirit, or something far darker using that appearance to get closer?
algo que sale del pilar que está justo atrás. Algo asomarse, parece que se asoma, sube y...
You've probably heard people say you should be careful when buying toys for children, especially secondhand or thrifted ones. Most people dismiss that as superstition. But videos like this are exactly why those warnings exist. In this clip, a mother is recording her young daughter quietly, playing with a doll. Nothing seems out of the ordinary at first. Then something happens. Watch closely. At first glance, it looks harmless, just a child playing. But then the doll's head moves on its own. The mother says the moment she noticed it, her stomach dropped. Some viewers tried to explain it away, suggesting the girl may have bumped the doll. Others disagreed, pointing out that the angle and timing don't add up. Many people familiar with paranormal cases say activity rarely starts dramatically. It begins with subtle movements, small enough to second guess. And when those signs are ignored, that's when things escalate. Because according to them, dismissing moments like this isn't harmless. It's an invitation. So the real question isn't whether the doll moved. It's what might have moved with it. Aisling runs a TikTok account dedicated almost entirely to toy reviews and lighthearted content. Scrolling through her page, nothing feels unusual, until one video that doesn't belong. Late one night, the security camera outside her home was triggered by motion. What it captured left her uneasy. After two men walk past the camera, something strange appears behind them. A small, semi-transparent figure materializes near the parked cars and slowly drifts to the right. It's faint, hazy, and barely visible, but clearly there. Aisling says she has no explanation for it. There were no children outside at that hour. No one else on the street. So what exactly did her camera capture that night? A ghostly visitor? Or something far more easily explained?